So we've talked about low and high pass filters and different uses for them. But what happens when a low pass and a high pass filter are used on the same channel? Well, it's called a bandpass filter. Let me show you. So let's go over to this Juno sound, or as my friends in Germany would call, the Uno sound. I actually think we should call it the Uno because it's just so ubiquitous. It sounds good everywhere. It's like, which synthesizer do you want to use? Uno. So I'm going to instantiate a high pass filter here, but what happens if we bring a low pass filter in and give it the same cutoff frequency or a similar one? We now have what's called a bandpass filter. And if we move the cutoff frequencies, then what we're going to do is only pass frequencies that are surrounding the cutoff frequency that we've chosen. Now, this is multiple filters, but in a real true bandpass filter, we wind up with only one cutoff frequency. So let's just listen. So there are a lot of cool uses for bandpass filters. I'm going to show you one of my favorites. I'm going to get rid of this. Let's clear the decks a little bit. And I'm going to bring out the infamous Sound Toys Filter Freak. We're going to use Filter Freak 1. This is just going to be one filter. Very simple. So Filter Freak is a really great filtering plugin that has a multi-mode filter. It sounds amazing. And then we also have different ways of modulating the cutoff frequency. Modulation is just a word for change. If you've used a lot of synthesizers in your day, you're probably familiar with these concepts. We have an envelope, which is going to basically use the incoming amplitude as a control signal for modulating the cutoff. I am going to leave it there, but you can also do an LFO, you can do a rhythm, you can do like a step thing, or you can make it random. I'm going to use the envelope, and I'm going to turn mod up. And what that's going to do is actually make it so that as we cross this threshold, the envelope is going to push our cutoff frequency around by the amount we choose here. I'm going to change this to a bandpass filter. That's BPF. And let's do 4 pole. Now, poles is a word that we use to refer to the steepness of the filter, the severity of the cutoff once we get past the cutoff frequency. The number of poles refers to the number of decibels per octave of cutoff. So as you turn it up, you're getting a more and more severe cutoff. So I'm going to leave it at 4 for now. We can work with resonance. So I'm going to leave it on all wet. And let's before we start modulating, let's dial in a good cutoff. All right. We're going to give it some resonance, which is going to push the peak here. And let's just listen to what happens as I sweep this around. Ooh, that's a cool sound. What if we add some modulation here? And so we're going to adjust the timing of it, the attack and release, meaning how long it takes to push it up once the threshold's been passed, and how long it takes to come back down once the threshold's been passed, going down when the sound is dying out. Let's just work it so we have some nice timing here. Okay, so that's cool, that's exciting, but Evan, you just completely destroyed the sound that you were working with. I know. But actually, credit where credit's due. I got this one from Peter Wade of MNDR and many other artists. He's worked with Jennifer Lopez also. I'm always keeping my ears open, even on Instagram. Let's work this mod in the frequency so that we're in a nice hot spot here for this sound. Okay, that's cool. Now what I'm going to do is use this dry and wet to just mix a little bit of that sound in. So let's start with all dry. Here's without. Here's with. Isn't that fun? Takes it out of Sleepy Town, as Peter would say. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to unsolo this. Let's listen to it in context. Oh boy, that's so fun. I love it. This can be a really fun trick to use all over the place. I like it because it's adding a little bit of that synthesizer mentality in the way that you'd use a bandpass filter to mixing land and like plugin world. This is a really cool effect that works really well in a lot of different contexts, just to add a little bit of extra animation and life to things.